everybody. Welcome to my channel. Happiest of Saturdays. We are a day late, but we are not a dollar short. We are here to go over the Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 15, episode 10, The Cult's Out of the Bag. Thank you for being here as well, James. He is a part of the Watch Your Mouth Reviews channel. So I encourage everybody to go to the description, click the link, it'll take you there. We do a lot of content together. I would say probably most of our Bravo television content we do together. So check in. Good morning, James.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. Like she said, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a little comment, do all those little nice little cute things we like you to do. But ultimately, y'all, we are trying to definitely build our brands here on YouTube. We've been doing this for almost 3 years. It'll be 3 years in April. Y'all, we are trying. It has been kind of a steady pace, so we try and pick it up a little bit, and we need y'all help. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, get our algorithm going, y'all. Y'all know y'all want to.
Please. And also there's other links to other creators that we support and or work with. Shayna_MCD, Kiwan JTV, who will be live with later today, as well as others. I also feel like I took a poll. I put it on my channel. I said, what solo content would you guys like to see me do more of or bring back? And documentaries and music reviews and reactions won. Let me tell y'all something about these music reactions, because a lot of these rappers and artists be watching my lives, and I appreciate y'all for sticking beside me. If your music is good, I'll say yes, your reaction's free. If Mrs. Best or Mr. Best says that you need to pay for your reaction, just go ahead and pass us up. Because we will be brutally honest. We want to highlight artists that are unique, not those that sound like everyone else. And I'm only going to be reacting to the music of artists who have paid for the license to own or lease the beat that they are doing, because you guys were not doing that before. And I could have been monetized in 2024, but I'm not because of that. So I need my artists. If you're going to submit music to me, make sure that you have actually paid for your beat, leased your beat. Make sure that you have done the splits appropriately. I want your stuff to be registered to BM, whatever the heck it is, BMI, I believe. All of those things, because when you don't do it, it hurts the creators that are trying to support you guys. So please keep up with that. But let's get back into the Housewives of Beverly Hills. Sorry, I had to make that announcement. James is just here like.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I'm like, oh well, she put it on thick, y'all. But that's real though. I respect you for saying, hey, yeah, I do.
Denied monetization twice. Okay. I said it's not going to be a third time. So I had scrapped it all, but I appreciate that people want it back. It means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you want more content with myself and James, we are going to be discussing ourselves more on the Watch Your Best Friends channel. So give that a try. But let's get into this boring episode. Housewives of Beverly Hills. I love y'all. I'm going to stick beside y'all, but y'all are boring me. I'm bored. I'm genuinely bored. I want more. It seems like when Jennifer Tilly and Kathy aren't here, I'm asleep. I'm dead.
It's funny you said that, because I was just thinking that when I was watching this episode. I'm like, okay, I either need Jennifer Tilly to make a scene or Kathy somewhere being kooky and eating some chips or something. I'm more entertained by that than the rest of these ladies. And this just goes to show you, I know that it was Jennifer Tilly's doing of not wanting a diamond, because I know that she was offered it several times, but something has to happen. Y'all got to find some other people.
That is the truth. That is the truth. I agree. And apologies for my background, y'all. I do have an AC on, as well as the laundry machine is going. So if my background is loud, I apologize.
Same here. My washer and dryer is going too, and so is my air conditioner. Well, my heater, because it is 65 degrees in my apartment right now, so I'm freezing my behind off.
That's like my ideal inside temperature. I like it colder.
Josiah
be going crazy, because when he fall asleep, he wakes up shivering, because I be turning the AC on. I be hot. I don't know. But this episode, the beginning of it was kind of like, but Bose and Sutton meet up, which was strange, because last year Bose felt like Sutton was up Garcelle's you know what and all this crazy stuff. And they talk, they do discuss Amanda, who is the newbie on the show, and it's given jealousy. Basically, Bose is like, okay, my thing with Amanda is you're selling people. You say you want to help people and then you charge them for it. Bose is trying to make it into something it's not. And I'm sorry, I'm about to defend Amanda. Let me explain something to y'all. You're not trying to help Amanda, number one. You're trying to find somebody else to pile on. And you're smart to not pile on Bose, which is what they want to do, but they can't pile on Bose after 8.5 and Garcelle because people will look at them crazy. So I feel like they're just using Amanda as somebody to get at. But guess what doctors do when they heal you from your injury? They send a bill. Guess what therapists do when we go to see you or help you? And social workers like myself, we're sending a bill. Even if it's not to you, it's being sent to a health plan, it's being sent to somebody. When you go to get acupuncture, you're sent a bill. When you go obtain a life coach, you are sent a bill. The only thing that you could get free is maybe a sponsor in AA or NA. Other than that, you're going to get a bill. So though Amanda probably is questionable, her business practices, as well as her past arrests that we've seen online and things like that, I think Bose has some audacity trying to make it seem like Amanda is not legit or shady just because she is charging people for teaching them how to manifest. Also, as Amanda says later in the episode, Bose, are you mad because you tried to do the same thing, but nobody would pay? Was really good, Bose. Basoma. So that's my take on that first little scene with Amanda and Sutton talking. How did you feel about it?
I felt a few different ways. One, I felt like I'm tired of this dog piling on Amanda. It's like at the end of the day, what do y'all want from this lady? This is giving Real Housewives of Potomac. All the ladies jump on Stacey. This is what this is really given, and this is annoying. Yes, I do question a lot of Amanda's antics on the show, just like I question Stacey's antics on the show at times, especially if they don't make sense. But if they are lighthearted, she hasn't done anything. Like this whole y'all getting on her about Dorit, all she said was she may want to be careful about how she's making PK look on national TV. Anybody with common sense would have said the same thing. So for y'all to make this such a big ordeal, that means that none of y'all have nothing else going on. There's nothing else that y'all have brought of interest if y'all just gonna dogpile on this one little lady.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's another good point that I totally miss but can see. Like there's nothing happening this season, but Beverly Hills, if we think back to seasons prior to ever getting Housewives of Color, it was interesting, but let's call a spade a spade. Kim Richards, it was your show. Without Kim as a topic in Brandy Glanville and then LVP, they wouldn't have had a show back then either. I think taking away Garcelle has shown people like these heifers have money, some of them. Sorry, Doris, but money won't make you interesting. Hi, Kevin. Good morning or good afternoon to you. Good morning from us, but good morning from me because it's the afternoon for James too. I just realized.
Yeah, it's the afternoon for me. Yeah,
wow.
Time went by, y'all. Time is going by. It's already the mid of Saturday.
It is. Go ahead.
No, but what I also want to input, because I agree with you, I feel like they always have like a scapegoat person. Last year was Garcelle. And I just feel like without her here, they always are mentioning her without mentioning her. There were a few scenes, even in this episode, talking about Sutton's behavior. They're trying to say, oh, without Garcelle, you're much more of a light. You're much more lighter. You're much more funnier. You're not controversial. You're not confrontational. I feel like that's a slap in Garcelle's face, and they're trying to say it was because of Garcelle that Sutton was like this. And I'm just like, y'all are out of your minds if y'all really think that.
Meanwhile, it's also an insult to Sutton, which we'll get to in a bit. But meanwhile, Garcelle is walking down runways that she's been invited to, producing shows, starring in movies, and making a way for not just other African-American creators and entertainers, but just people trying to come up in general. Garcelle is smart. She's smart, and the rest of them wish. This is the dream. You come on television hoping to never need it again. So good for you, Garcelle. But meanwhile, while these heifers is hating on Amanda's business, she's talking to her husband or her fiance, and she's discussing the issues with Doris. And her husband actually tried to empathize with Dorit. He was like, when I went through my divorce, I didn't want to hear nothing from nobody. That's fine, sir, but not wanting to hear anything from nobody and then jumping down the throats of those who are meant to be friends to you, who are trying to tell you stuff, is crazy. You could say, I don't want to talk about it. That's all she has to say. But instead, Dorit gets at people and kind of forces them to choose a side. You don't have to talk about your divorce to force people to choose a side, Doris.
Well, this is why, because I had a problem with him as well. But this was my issue. It wasn't that Amanda was saying things to Dorit about her divorce. Without Dorit's present, her, Sutton, and whoever else was at that table, we're having a casual conversation about it. It wasn't like she was telling Dorit, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to. And then when they did meet up, she was asking Amanda, how do I do this? Like, what is my plan? What should I do? Like, Dorit came to her in the only conversation that they did have about her divorce. So I think it's different. I understood what he was saying,
that's what she ended up telling her husband. Let me finish this scene, because she does tell him that the situation is not the same. And she also says in a confessional that what she said did not warrant or align with her divorce and her feelings toward it at all, because it didn't.
No,
it didn't. And it's good to explain that, because people like to forget, and I see a lot of people either piling on Amanda or just siding with Dorit because the cigarette was in her mouth last season. But Dorit walks into situations, starts hitting people, growls, bites at people, and then gets upset when people want to tame her. So it's what Doris does. Honestly, this is what colorless women in California do. So I am probably everywhere. So I'm not surprised by it, but I do respect Amanda for like holding her own. And Amanda read Dorit for filth. Amanda said to her husband, so you think it's because I'm someone that's financially independent and then also found love in a man, and she's someone who had to marry somebody on the premise of finances and it didn't go how she wanted, and now she's on her own? I said, Amanda, you better clock it. Okay. Now I'm starting to like Amanda. She's playing sedity and goofy and frilly, but never doubt anybody who has a degree or education in the study of the human mind and how that relates to cognitive processes and behavioral mannerisms. That is the definition of psychology. That is what people learn when they go into sociology. That is what you got to learn to become a life coach and a counselor like she was. So she may be shady, but I don't think these women realize who they're dealing with. You don't have to be rich to be more intelligent than somebody. And thank you for reminding everybody that Dorit ain't nothing but a gold digger with a fake accent who's mad that she got to pay money on her own now. I'm paying my own bills. Well, what the fuck did you expect when you filed for divorce? Did you think he was going to keep paying your bills? Y'all, I'm sorry, women. Y'all need to learn. Just because you have a baby by a man, even if you're married, does not make that man financially obligated to care for you. It just makes him obligated to care for your kids. If y'all look into how they figure out child support, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with what a kid in the type of household and neighborhood you live in will get. It has everything to do with it, down to the neighborhood sometimes. So, I just hope people remember that. But I'm here for Amanda right now. I'm like, okay, Amanda, it took me 10 episodes.
Yeah.
If Amanda learns to say what she says in her confessionals and to her husband to their face, she'd be golden. She'd be golden.
I agree.
We will see. We're going to move forward to Erica and Kyle talking on the phone, because Kyle, Rachel, and Doris are still in the Hamptons having the most boring, colorless events that they could have, making us not want to go to the Hamptons for anything. White people be swearing they having a time, and I was just looking like,
you're so confused like me, because I'm just like, are you having a good time? Are y'all? Okay.
Fun? But Kyle is talking to Erica, and I actually agreed with Kyle about how Amanda is told, as well as newbies in this group, to have her own opinion. But then when she voices and expresses that opinion, people jump down her throat and pile on her. Y'all are making us side with Kyle this season, and it's really annoying. But maybe Mauricio's cracking her back again, and that's why she's a little calmer and making sense again. But
at least one can hope. That's what he's doing. I'm praying. I'm rooting for them. I really am. I'm rooting for Kyle and Mauricio. Y'all, it may not seem like I am, but I'm 100% rooting, because I do see the love. I do see. If I don't see anything else from them, I see the love, I see the great communication, and I see the empathy. I do see those three things just spot on. So anything else like may come within time if they do decide to get back together, and I'll see a lot of other things. But just having those things as a basic level communication as a married couple and just two people who are right now just going through it as friends, there's definitely a lot of hope. So I am rooting for them. I am.
Yeah, I think I think most people are, especially with how long they had been together, like healthily. I think we all want them to do well. And I've seen a lot of people online saying, "Oh, he's so done with her," and that's why you niggas is alone. But God, because if you can't see there's still love there. That's why a lot of
Yeah,
people
y'all crazy if y'all don't
for
see it.
themselves.
If y'all think just because he outside right now that y'all don't see the love he has for this lady, y'all are crazy. That is so
Because
evident
he could have
that he
divorced
still
her.
loves
He
this
was happy being outside. He's the one with more money than her now. He could have left. He could have
lady.
figured it out. Trust and believe he could have. But Kyle and Erica move on to discuss Denise Richards, who was a part of the cast for like a season and a half. Seasons ago, this is why people despise Lisa Rinna, because she took it too far when Denise was there. But I don't care for Denise Richards coming back on Beverly Hills. But of course, for those who have been under a rock, if you're unsure, Denise's ex, Aaron Pfeiffer's, I think is how you say his last name.
Mhm.
Her and him are going to be getting divorced. He filed for divorce from her. She is okay with the divorce. We pretty much, a lot has come out. We're going to discuss it at the end of the episode, but this is how they kind of introduce them back on the show. But I didn't have my channel back when they were on the show. And I did not catch that Aaron had threatened to crush Denise's hand for telling him to be quiet and walk away from the women. And I'm sure that went over a lot of people's head, but Erica was there and mentioned that. But we're going to come back to it and just discuss it all at once. Outside of Denise Richards, do you have anything to add about Kyle's opinion and Erica's on Amanda's? Or
Yeah, once again, we have to agree with Kyle. That is so crazy that y'all are making us agree with her, because I feel like, why is Kyle the only person with her pretentious ass that's able to see what y'all are doing? Why is that? Y'all are killing me with this. And then the whole thing with Erica and Denise, I forgot they had made up, because the last we saw them two, it wasn't pretty. So that's
they
gross.
made up on camera.
Did they become camera
They aired
on the
it.
show?
We discussed it on this channel as well.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch it because I don't remember this at all.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah,
once again,
made up.
this is. But I'm sorry to hear that Denise went through what she went through. You know, that we'll expand on later on that in the live. But you know, I don't think they aired that scene in the original episode. I don't think they did.
I remember some of it, but it was so long ago. I don't know. Bravo will be bringing stuff on camera when they choose.
Right.
But Doris, Kyle, and Rachel went out in the Hamptons. They danced. Good for them. Moving on. Bose talks to her daughter. I wish her well in her journey with fertility. Moving on. Erica comes to Amanda's house to spend time with her, get to know her better, which was basically production telling Erica to go to her house and spend time with her. Because according to y'all heard Andy's comments on his podcast, Andy apparently has a soft spot for Amanda Francis and says she is here to stay. So, Andy. But I hollered when Erica was walking through Amanda's house, and there was some kids' toys on the ground with like some crushed up graham crackers. And Erica said quietly, "This house is fucked up." I said, Erica, you act like you never had a kid. This lady has, I believe, 4 kids in a house, and they're all under 10.
Yeah.
Like when you have kids, like aside from the little mess from the toys, like the house was beautiful. Erica, be quiet, because you look like you live in somebody's pool house at the bottom of Beverly Hills. You're not even in the hills. Be quiet, Erica. Be quiet. I don't understand. And then she said that while her high heel was leaning. I said, go get some glue put back on that heel and stop talking about this lady with all these kids' house that she's actually raising. Because a lot of people, as quiet as it's kept in the neighborhood that Amanda live in, will hire nannies. They'll hire Esther and Juanita to come and clean the house, raise the babies, put them to sleep, all sorts of crazy stuff. Leave Amanda
Not Esther and Juanita. I cannot.
It's the truth.
I cannot.
It's true. It's the truth. When you go to the neighborhoods, y'all, you don't even, all you see is Molly made cars. All you see is
You'll see
different
that. You see
cleaning
that
products
minivan, if
cars.
anything.
Right. Like that's what they do. It's a California
Hmm.
thing. Let them be. But
It
I'm like,
is. Yeah, no, it
Erica, be
definitely is.
quiet. Did your son ever tell us when it snowed in Pasadena? Because the rest of California is still trying to figure it out, Erica. Be quiet. Can't stand her ass. Now, Erica says to her in her house, we want to know about the cult. We want to know about the cult. And I'm like,
I said, "Oh,
and Amanda foolishly told them, I would have said, I prefer not to talk to you guys about the cult because you haven't made me really feel welcomed in this group. Y'all bitches have come for me for no reason whatsoever. So why would I tell you about my experience in a cult if you're already alleging and acting like my business is a joke? Amanda, go watch the Black Housewives and Reality Stars.
I'm
And
trying to
just
tell you."
please, and just do what they do. Because if we
I
put
will.
Erica on RHOA, she would never.
Nah, we can't put her on Potomac either.
Hi, Kiwan. Welcome in. I believe she'll be joining us. I'm not quite sure, but I believe she'll be joining us later for our Love During Lockup review. But she also just did a Beverly Hills review. So please check that out as well. She's got a lot of good content. And then she'll have a Healing Out Loud segment, I believe. Is it March 1st? I can't remember the date, but I saw a post for it. I will post it on my Instagram for everybody to see. Kevin Reynolds said, we're watching the scene. Amanda and her husband talking. It finally hit me. Amanda's husband is the Peter Thomas of the Housewives of Beverly Hills. Am I reaching?
A little bit.
I
I
think
could
it's a reach
see.
just because he hasn't interacted with the other women yet. And
Yes, I was just
Peter
going to say that.
loved, Peter never missed a scene with the other women.
Never.
Peter is still friends with Nene to this day. Peter's thirsty.
Until I see her fiance, husband, whatever he is, have a scene like that pajama party at that hotel where Peter was in the middle of the bullshit with everybody, then that's when I will call him that. But yeah, it's just for right now. Now, we don't know what he could turn into because, mind you, Peter didn't get that way until about a couple seasons in. So we kind of have to wait it out just a little bit longer with him.
Ay. She said, I'll be there tonight. I don't have a date for Healing Out Loud yet, but it will be in March. Okay, I know I see March. Child, that's why I got to wear my glasses. But yeah, their conversation was weird, but Amanda explains that she was a part of a church. She got very close to the church and they basically did what cults do. She was isolated and controlled. She didn't go into too much detail, but we don't know because of the editing. But basically, the detail that she gave is like literally the textbook definition of what students of psychology are taught for what a cult is. So sometimes I do feel like, Amanda, did you really go through this? Did you not? But she says she was controlled. She left on Halloween back in, sounds like 2008. She got in a car and went to her sister in Orlando, Florida. Her parents said that she was in a cult, all this crazy stuff. She says she left, got her degrees, and that's why she wants to help people. And Erica's like, oh, well, this is what you need to tell them. Why the fuck does she need to tell people her life story for them to understand and respect her profession? Either you do or you don't. Go to hell and pay your cases. Come pay my PG&E bill, Erica, and shut up. I'm tired of Erica. I really am. But how did you feel about Erica and Amanda's discussion?
I felt like, to me, this was kind of Erica using this information to her advantage to have in her back pocket in case Mad Day comes and she gets into it with Amanda. I didn't feel like she was like really trying to genuinely get to know her. It seemed very calculated from the beginning. And I feel like Amanda did pick up on it because she gave Erica some side eyes a few times in the conversation. So I kind of felt like, okay, so you do see this lady is playing you, but what you're going to do is you're going to play it with her to have it to your advantage, which is smart because the other ladies ain't seeing it for you right now. So I do feel like Amanda is calculated as well, but just in a very strategic way. She's using all four centers of her brain, and I love it.
Yeah, that's why I say I never doubt somebody who studies stuff like that, because if she wants to, she could get y'all together. Let's catch the comment before we move on. Kevin Reynolds said, personally, couldn't care less with Kyle and Mauricio getting back together. He must be rewinded. I said what I said, and I ain't changing it. Fight me.
I ain't gonna fight you. Listen, if they don't get back together, that's fine with me. I hope he like me because I will slide into them DMs because he very handsy and I love it.
I don't know if anybody would want to get with him after Kyle. I feel like that was his person, but I don't know what they're doing. I don't think they know what they're doing.
It was a joke. He ain't my type.
They
I just
give
like I just like the handsy thing. I love how handsy he is. I just do.
that's his problem. He too handsy, but they give the type of people who will separate, sometimes act like they married, but never actually get a divorce. I don't think Kyle and Mauricio will want to deal with the financials of their divorce, honestly.
No, I think what they have works for them. I really do.
Kevin said, "Risk Housewives of Beverly Hills would stop making Denise Richard a thing. Enough, knock it off." I agree. Really? I agree. She's not fun to watch. She's not exciting. Her quirkiness is not funny. Honestly, I thought she was high on something when she was on TV them last season with Beverly Hills. That is just
gosh, that was my favorite part.
But I don't. Denise Richards, Kathy Hilton, Kyle, Sutton, Karen Huger. I could go on and on. There are so many overrated housewives that people are they're trying to make fetch happen, and it's just not going to happen. I can't get into it. But yeah, after their little talk, we then have to unfortunately see Rachel, Kyle, and Doris at dinner in the Hamptons discussing Erica's new $25 million lawsuit because the three of them cannot give us a fucking show. They can't. They can't. Doris is boring and we're tired of hearing about the divorce. All she does is go off on people. Rachel is boring. All she says is, I die. I love fashion. Oh my God. Boring. Boring. Go do that somewhere else or on social media, please. And Kyle is just trying to keep people from asking about Mauricio and Morgan. So I'm looking like, okay, y'all have nothing to talk about. So at a table full of people, you're discussing Erica's $25 million lawsuit. So Erica is being sued by the trustees of bankruptcy as well as the trustees over some other crap connected to her case because they found that $25 million was sent to her that she signed for into an account that belonged to only her and into a trust that belonged to her and an LLC that belonged to her. And so everyone's like, oh, it's just one thing. And Rachel, fucking boring ass out. Well, I'm going to reach out to her because I don't care about any of that. I just want to make sure she's okay. Watch out for people like Rachel Zoe. Y'all may not see it, but you don't want a friend that's always a yes man. You also don't want to be friends with someone who's super successful saying, I don't care about how it looks. I'm going to check on you. That shit looks shady. That shit looks shifty. Y'all may not feel where I'm coming from with that, but I'm like, Rachel, you just met Erica 2 seconds ago.
I feel you. I know exactly where you're going with this. And to me, I'm also watching her as well. Because then it makes me wonder about your success, ma'am, throughout the 30 years you've had it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, because when you say comments like that, because to me, regardless of whether if it was right or wrong, we know that the element of his practices were wrong according to the courts. So regardless if you feel like she had a hand in it or not, I would be like, okay, let me see how this play out. I'm not going to have an opinion until I see the outcome. That's how I choose to move with things. You guys hear me say this all the time on my channel, especially with Dr. Wendy Osefo. I say, you know what? I'm not going to talk about it until I see the outcome, because to me, it's all up in the air. Erica might beat the case. I don't know.
That's what's been annoying me, honestly, with Wendy Osefo. No shade. I love Kempire. I've been annoyed with Kempire. Giorgio says probably every creator that I watch, I've been annoyed with, because when you're reporting on court cases and niggas ain't even been to court yet,
right?
Just say that you want content so you could get your check from YouTube to be bigger, which is fine. But y'all got to be careful watching these content creators willing to discuss cases that don't have any legal degree, don't have anybody with any legal professionalism or background coming on their channels commenting. You got to be careful with that. Wait until they go to court.
Yes.
You won't know nothing till then, because nobody thought Teresa would go down.
Right.
Nobody thought that. And then they say, oh no, both of y'all going to jail and he getting deported. So it's always best to just wait. It's always
just
best.
Wait. Yeah, and cases has happened. Wendy's case, I think, happens next week, I believe.
Yeah. It's coming.
We'll talk about it on my channel. We will talk about it. But until then, I'm not saying anything because I feel like, to me, also that's also rooted into why this is such a big deal and why the district attorney's office is having a hard time and keeps postponing their date, is because the content creators keep talking and keep putting more information out that they find, and that's evidence.
Yeah,
Hello.
it impacts everything.
It
Like in
impacts
some way,
everything.
we love people for entertainment, but that's why I don't discuss like pop culture on my channel at all. I feel like it's a dangerous thing to discuss. And plus, as things change, the facts change, and but
Yep.
video gonna still be posted. So I try not to do pop culture videos or comment on court cases and stuff like that. But you know, what
Mm-hmm.
can we do? But Rachel Zoe tells Dorit that she's a verse. In other words, they discuss Amanda, and Dorit's like, I'm so unbothered. That's basically all the verse is. And Rachel was like, oh no, you bothered, because if you wasn't, we wouldn't be discussing it. That's the only thing I did like Rachel for. But
Mm-hmm.
that's another reason why I say y'all got to watch Rachel, because she invited you on this trip. But obviously she feels differently. But she's inviting you on this trip because she knows how to play the game. She's not dumb, is what I'm
Right.
saying. Let me get the comments. Kevin Reynolds said, "Will say Bose's daughter's beauty is blossoming as she gets older. As a kid, no."
We're not gonna comment on the babies, y'all. That's still a
You know what?
baby.
Kevin Reynolds, message me, DM me, so I can give you my opinion on what you just stated.
Yes.
On a
The group,
serious
on the group one, Kevin. Don't be leaving me out.
On a serious note, I believe absolutely nothing about Erica's contrived DB story. Sorry, not sorry. We are going to come back to this
We'll come
comment.
back to
I
that.
do
Yeah.
agree with you. I heavily agree with you. Um, so the next thing we're going to discuss is Sutton, Erica, and Denise Richards meeting. Listen, I don't like Sutton, but I respect her for no plastic surgery. You are what you look like, okay? And just accept it. If you can't find somebody who love you for how you look naturally, then sorry.
Right. Like Cameron D, or whoever said it, was like, I'd rather have the face that I was born with and can recognize myself than to be unrecognizable to myself. I was like, yeah, I know that's right.
That's
Because
real. That
because
was Cameron
honestly,
Diaz too.
it was Cameron Diaz. Okay, I thought it was her. I was reading something because she said she's not doing it. And I commend Sutton as well, because that's something that Hollywood has glorified as if it's a must when you enter the gates of California, Southern California. And it's like, y'all don't have to do that. You know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's annoying. It's up here in the Bay really bad. No shade. A lot of the little Hispanic girls out here have been getting BBLs, but they forget about their thighs. And I okay, if you're not born with the thickness, you got to get your thighs done too, y'all. Otherwise, you look like a disfigured turkey leg. But I digress. Uh, Erica claims that Sutton is much more pleasant and their relationship is better because Sutton is not drinking as much. So last season when Garcelle, you had defending you because of the vodka and all of this stuff, and you having a gallon of vodka, bringing it everywhere with you, Sutton. Now suddenly you're not doing that and you've changed. I think she's hiding behind something she was so mad at being accused about, because I didn't think she had a problem with drinking, just so that she could blame her change on something other than the fact that Reba exposed that Sutton probably comes from a racist family and used Garcelle, as most clear people in the South like to do. So I'll leave it there and move on. They asked Denise about the black eye. That's what we all care about. At the time that this film, Denise had submitted to the court in her divorce that she was going through domestic violence. Now, based on stuff Erica said and they showed, you can see symptoms and signs that someone's going through a DV situation, and sometimes you don't. But Erica, if you saw the signs and still chose to get at that woman, you're foul. Especially if you saw the signs, got at her, and then claim you experienced this yourself. So Denise is explaining how she would be healing from surgery and Aaron would knock her upside her head with stuff, punch her in the face. She says that she had been going through domestic violence for some time, which I believe, based on how she moved on the show. I absolutely believe her, and I hope that she's in a better space now, because that's very difficult to go through. But you could tell Denise really was genuine in what she said. I'm going to put Kevin's comment up here just to sit. Denise is genuine in her domestic violence situation. You can tell because she was So there's like certain factors that we look for when we're working with clients to tell if someone's triggered. She didn't want to talk about a lot. She was trying to keep it short. She was trying to laugh stuff off that wasn't laughable. You could tell she didn't want to talk about it and is probably embarrassed and traumatized to a certain extent. And I empathize and respect that. What irritated me was Erica and Bravo making it about Erica. We don't give a fuck about a bitch that owes people money. This lady said about people who died because of her husband and money that came to her for her to go use fake auto-tune because she can't really sing it all either. She says she doesn't care about the victim. She only cares about herself. You don't care about people who die, but you care about domestic violence victims, but only because you've gone through it yourself. Why do you have to go through domestic violence to care about that? As women, we should always support each other with that. Where I'm from, you put your hands on a female and somebody's present in the Bay Area, we don't got to know you. A female finna jump you. We gonna pull him up off of you, sis. That's what we're gonna do. So to see Erica take something so serious and try to spin it into her pissed me off. I also dealt with domestic violence from men I dated prior to my husband, to where it put me in the hospital and I had to miss some school. So I don't like when people pretend to go through stuff or try to, even if you did go through it, you hear someone else is going through it and you make it about you. I don't like that. Also, I don't Bitmo believe Erica went through that. So you mean to tell me after Tom Girardi, you dated somebody who was beating your ass? That's what you want us to believe, Erica? We ain't never seen a misplaced piece of makeup. We ain't never seen a swelling, nothing. You never acted afraid. Nobody even rumored that you was dating anybody. And that's what you're saying? What I do remember is you dating around the timeline the timeline that she claimed she was a DV victim. I remember her dating and sleeping with that boy from Summer House. And then I remember seeing her with somebody else also. So is that why he knocked you upside your head? Because you was on the internet fucking on different niggas from ages 15 to 25 to whatever else on to 93? Like, what is it really, Erica? Now, if Erica did go through domestic violence, I'm sorry, but it seems like she's using it for a storyline because the preview for next week's episode is her talking to Dr. Jen, who needs to retire, about how being strangled and shackled and hit. And honestly, you don't give a fuck about the victim, so why the fuck I give a fuck about you being strangled and shackled and hit? Because I want to strangle you every time I see my PG&E bill because of what your husband was doing, sending money that should have went to victims and fixing shit in California to you so that you could get on stage and pretend to be a singer, but you can't sing. And you can only do a couple dance moves because you're still a 50-year-old woman with the knees of a 50-year-old woman. So I don't like this. I don't like what Erica did. If she went through it, fine. But let Denise have her moment. And Bravo, don't bring Denise back on TV just so that you can profit off of her very traumatic, physically abusive, and tumultuous divorce. Because you could tell Denise didn't want to be on camera, but it irritated me. But how do you feel about Erica's?
Naya's comment right there at the bottom. That's exactly how I felt. I felt like if this was going on, and how long she's had 2 seasons since her split from Tom. So you mean to tell me right after Tom, that last season, you were going through this, you mean to say that you didn't mention anything to anybody? Like, come on, like that's we're not going to say, Erica, I just don't believe her. And you were going to therapy on the show.
And therapy on the show. Your therapist.
And you're not telling your therapist
about somebody knocking your head between the wall and their hand. You full of it.
Yes, like I'm never going to say someone's not going through something, but I just find it convenient that we've seen you go through so many different elements of healing and mental health, weight loss, all these different things, but you neglect to mention until another woman who and has made it public that she was going through this. It was, to me, even if she did go through it, I'm not saying Erica didn't go through it, because I can see of moments where when she was at that reunion, she looked frantic. I could see different elements around the time frame that she's saying it happened. I can see it, but at the same time, the moment looked like you were trying to steal it away from Denise. It did look like that. I'm sorry, y'all.
Even if she did go through it, this the one woman, I don't give a fuck. I don't care about the victims, Erica. I only give a fuck about myself. How about that,
That's
bitch?
fair.
How about that? Because people died. People passed away.
Right.
Her husband did wrong. And you're not going to tell me that a man who was around you so much to teach you the terminology that people who work in law that they use, you're not going to tell me that you didn't know what was going on. Something tells me you had inklings and clues that to know what's going on, which is probably why California is not granting you a divorce, because you filed for divorce before all of this shit came out. No, it's all very convenient. As nice.
It is very convenient because when we look back at that time, yeah, it seems like you were coached to try to get out that marriage before all this shit went down with you and with Tom. So you had a clue about something. So regardless of how much you had a clue in it, and I'm gonna say allegedly, for she tried to get my ass. Allegedly, I feel like she knew.
Oh
some
no, there's
shit.
disclaimers all up and through my channel. There's one going across the bottom. It's in my description. It's in the bio on this YouTube. Everything, as I say, is alleged. And we are discussing stuff under the Fair Use of Copyright Act. So they could feel how they feel and want to come after people. But as Kiwan JTV said, Erica said it was after Tom. Who did she date after Tom? We saw her rumored to be dating other people on Bravo shows. She admitted to sleeping with somebody from another Bravo show. And there was 2 other boys that she dated. So which one hit you? Because she dated them all around the time she alleges that she was in a DV situation.
Yeah.
So which one
and there was also a guy that, who had allegedly had bought that Range Rover for her and was putting her up in that house. There was also that guy. Was it him? Like, because she didn't want to talk about that at the reunion. She didn't want to talk about how she got her Range Rover and stuff right after that whole situation with Tom.
You don't want to talk about it because Erica's going to keep doing what she did with Tom, which is finding men who are going to pay for her lifestyle. And now she's probably going to let them pay for stuff in their names, or just give her money because she can't really do much. She's going to have to pay back her lawsuits. And nobody will ever marry her who has sense, because then they tackle on and become responsible for all this debt. That's if she can get out of her marriage with Tom. But at this rate, Tom will probably pass before she's out of the marriage, which Erica's probably going to end up legally responsible for all of this, which Sutton said to her.
Yep.
And we said seasons ago. And look at her now. So let the bitch be miserable.
Yeah, because she definitely is soon. And that's the shit she wasn't even married to him for. That shit finna come up too, because he owe everybody. Yeah.
Once he passes away, she's responsible as his living spouse for everything. Regardless of a separation, you're still his spouse. Especially when the reason you're not divorced is because the judge won't let you because of these cases. So they know what they're doing. California is not dumb. They were with Tom Girardi, but now that they found out, they're not dumb. She does think that we're all dumb. Kevin says that part, say it again for the people in the back. Garcelle was boring. Kick rocks lady. Where did that come from?
Yeah, Kevin, that was random. Because I don't think Garcelle
is not for reality TV.
I do agree with that.
She only gave interest in questioning other people. And I think it just made people, well, why are you only questioning others when you're not showing much? But I think she's content being single, content with her life, and focused on her career.
Which that ain't nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, for Garcelle to be boring, we've heard her name for 5-6 episodes straight. Someone who was boring, that wouldn't be happening.
Well, it can. If the way people look at Garcelle, for what I'm starting to pick up from their perspective, if the only time you're interesting is questioning and being in others' business, like individually, what do you bring? But I think it's not fair to bring that on Garcelle and say only she's boring. Because if you look at each of these ladies independently and what they bring without the drama, they're boring. All of them. Kyle's boring. Sutton's boring. Erica's boring. Dorita's boring. The only thing interesting about any of this cast is their criminal histories and open litigation cases. That's it. Mm-hmm. The cast don't. Beverly Hills has always been boring to me, like a little bit. But right now, I think it's just even worse because you don't even get them interacting with each other. People just try to keep secrets, avoid legal situations, and then judge each other for small stuff, which is crazy. Yep. But yeah, I don't know. I'm over it. That was it for the episode. That's where we ended. But it's episode 10.
Yeah, episode 10.
I think it's better.
It has to.
We should have had this type of energy in the beginning and first half of the season. Not like almost done with it, but hopefully it gets better. They haven't gone on a cast trip yet. I'm sure they will. Naya says, I guess being rich and white ain't everything. Who would have thunk it, Naya?
Right. Who would have thunk? But then also we have to keep in mind that these aren't the elite of Bel Air and Beverly Hills. These are kind of like the rag mediums of them. I don't think that the real ones who had the real luxury and the money and who had, the 50 square foot mansions in Bel Air and Beverly Hills really would waste their time on Bravo.
They're not. That's the thing. A lot of people got to understand. Real money would never go near reality television. They might invest in it.
Yep.
They might own the business, but they would never do
i.e. Kathy Hilton,
television,
who's highly invested in the network. So the Kardashians, who are highly invested in the networks. But your money is best spent behind the camera in the network, because that's where you get your royalties from, instead of being in front of the camera. If you want to be in front of the camera, it's because you're pretentious like Kyle and you just want to be seen.
Yeah.
That's just all that is.
But remember, she's a child star. So that's the thing. That's the thing. A lot of the real money in Hollywood, you guys will never see on TV.
Nope.
And I feel like you either got to be from California or know somebody who knows somebody to know that. They wouldn't dare do anything like this.
Absolutely.
Beneath them, as Guy would say. Other than that, you guys, that's it for this review of the Housewives of Beverly Hills. The next review I will do with James will be later today. We will be live with Kiwan JTV. The link is in the description to her channel to go over WeTV's Love During Lockup. In about an hour, I will get a review out to you guys for the Valley Persian style. I am going to put those reviews going forward. I'm going to be doing them solo. I'm not going to be doing them live. I'm just going to do pre-records. The Valley just is not giving. So I'm just going to pre-record it so I can get it out the way. And we will continue to get the Valley pre-records out. Tomorrow, I will be reviewing the America's Next Top Model reality check documentary. That I'm still deciding if it'll be a live or a pre-record, but I will get that out to you guys as well. What else do we have? We have Watch Your Best Friends, which will be live tonight on our joint channel. The link is in the description of that.
And then tomorrow we have Bell Collective.
How come you're not doing that today?
I don't have time.
I was
gonna say, I told you, today I'm highly busy. I have that course I have to do. So much is going on. So I'm literally, when you said you wanted to do those other lives tonight, I said, thank you. I can squeeze this one in, but I can't do anything else. So Sunday, in like either before or after your America's Next Top Model
parade tomorrow. It's a big deal. So if you do it, I'll be unavailable from 12 to 9.
Oh no, we're doing it.
You have to do it in the morning.
Yeah, we're doing it in the morning. Yeah. Okay. I have shit to do too. So yeah.
And then my sister, follow Naima Travels on TikTok. Shout out to her and congrats on 50,000 followers. But she does content, so I will be helping her with content at the Black Joy Parade. So if you enjoy Black people, for those who do not know, Oakland, California is where the Black Panthers were birthed. We have done most of Oakland is from New Orleans too. Bunch of people migrated from over there. So it should be a fun time. But check out James's channel for Bell Collective. I forgot all about Bell Collective, friend. I ain't even watched it.
I watched it. It was, I don't know what they're doing. Good. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It just, the first seasons were better. I'm just going to put it that way.
Because he's focused on that damn show that needs to die, Love and Marriage. But that's okay. We'll see y'all later today. We appreciate everybody. Also, be on the lookouts for music reactions making a return on Sunday, March 1st. Thank you, James, and we'll see y'all later on tonight. Adios.